fix your feelings, or where it's causing you problems and despite that you can't seem to stop. That's how I see it, and that's the approach that I take people on to change it. And then there's anxiety and depression. So repressed emotions can lead to feelings of anxiety and depression. And because it's so difficult to talk about, it's a very taboo topic, a lot of time the suppressed emotions just come out as general anxiety over everything, or like a low mood. Sometimes it can create physical symptoms. There can be pain in the womb, pain in the abdomen, heart palpitations, and difficulty sleeping. And then sometimes it can affect people by the way they think about falling pregnant again. They may dream and obsess over being pregnant again. They may start to think that they're being punished if they can't get pregnant in the future by God or by karma for the abortion. They may think that their relationship is now a failure and doomed to fail because of it. So it can also create that kind of worry and stress and obsession. And then there's the distance, which I talked about with Samantha and Phil, and also Melina and Ahmed. You know, sometimes couples or individuals, they can start to drift apart. They can feel that they've maybe wronged any children that they have because they feel like, oh, I've deprived my children of a brother or sister, and they may sometimes feel like they don't deserve to have their living children. I've had that before. So as you can see, it can create a lot of distance and isolation for someone where they just feel like, I just want to disappear, I don't want to be here anymore, because they're carrying so much unprocessed emotion. So, of course, having an abortion is viewed differently to many people as than losing a child naturally. And for this reason, this is why it can be so difficult for people to not have the closure, not be able to talk about it, to feel more lost, to feel that guilt, the anger, the resentment, the rage, the hurt. And for some people that go through that abortion procedure, it can be very cold, very clinical, and there's no special marking of saying goodbye, of getting that emotional closure. I do a lot of grief recovery work, and often when people are struggling to let go of things, what they need to do is they need a bit of completion to be able to share what they needed to share and they didn't get the chance. So if you can resonate with any of this, I'm going to go through some tips for you now so that you can heal and hopefully, if you decide to, rebuild a healthy connection with your partner if it has been damaged by this. So the first thing is there has to be forgiveness. Forgiving yourself is so important because you don't gain anything by punishing yourself. All we have is ourselves. And we're going to have ourselves for the rest of our lives. And it doesn't matter if we move city or country, we're going to always take ourselves with us. So learning to love ourselves, learning to show ourselves empathy, compassion, understanding, patience, and understanding that it's both physically and emotionally draining. Not putting so much pressure on yourself. Oh, get over it. Some people have speak to themselves like that and they haven't done any work to heal. So that's the next point, processing the loss. If you feel that you're struggling, that there are no memories, if you're feeling sad and hurt, if you're feeling a huge sense of emptiness and loss, then find someone that you trust to talk to. Many people that I support in my grief recovery, they write a letter to the unborn baby, or they do a planned ritual every year to remember them. Others decide that that's too much and they want to move on, so we just focus on them reaching and being the best person that they can be in the future, and that makes them feel good. And having a purpose, something to live for, a way to give back to life and to the universe. And then there's making plans for the future. So it can be so easy for an individual or a couple to get stuck in the past, going over everything that's happened, repeating the conversations that were had in their mind, repeating the conversations with their partner. And with anything, we have to let go of the past and switching our thoughts to what we control, what we can control moment to moment. Because there are many things we can't control. We cannot change the past, which is obvious. And there is a big difference between noticing what's not going right in a relationship, in life, and focusing, dwelling on the past and what's not going right. Now, of course, we need to notice things so we can change and adapt, but focusing on what we don't want is just going to bring all of what we don't want, all those emotions up to the surface, and then you end up living in it. So focusing on the present and the future can provide often the much needed light at the end of the tunnel. And then you can build new experiences step by step, hopefully build a brighter future, whether that's for yourself or together. It's so important as well. I talk a lot about releasing resentment and negativity, fear, guilt in my other podcasts. This is the process that I love to do in my 3-day intensive breakthrough sessions, where I help people to release a stack of emotions from the past very quickly and easily, because our unconscious mind holds these emotions in our subconscious mind, and it doesn't need to be painful to get rid of them. It doesn't mean we're going to need to talk for hours and hours, for months and months and years, because the processes that I use is worked and designed exactly how the unconscious mind works. And our unconscious mind is very clever, and it's designed to, when you feel pain, when you feel an emotion, an intense emotion, if you learn from it, you can let it go. Most of us have that experience where something's bothering us, whether it's a work situation, a family situation, a relationship situation. It's on our mind. It's on our mind maybe for a few days. Sometimes it can be on our mind for a few weeks. We can have stomach knots about it, or we can feel a tightness in our chest or our shoulders or our neck. And it can just really bother us. And then all of a sudden we're staring out the window, or just as we're going to sleep, our mind goes, yay, I've got the answer. This is why that happened. And this is what I'm going to do differently. And once you learn from it, it kind of just goes. The pain goes, the emotional stress goes, you feel better. We love solving our problems. We love learning from the emotions. We love learning from challenges. It feels good. And so this process has been very cleverly designed 35 years ago. And it's a process where we go and learn from these emotions, from these events. What do you need to learn quickly so that you can just release the emotion? So I often do that with people. Of course, if you've got another way you might like to release anger, fear, guilt and resentment, do that. Some people really find physical exercise can help them release emotions. Some people do meditations, also do hypnotherapy, that can be really good. Some people, they journal. For other people, journaling can make things a lot worse. So you've got to really find the right way to release for you, and just keep trying. Don't give up. The people that really struggle in life, whether it's about this or anything else, is because they're holding on to strong negative emotions from the past, and it just creates so much pain. So doing whatever you can to keep working on releasing your emotions. And then speaking to a professional. If you feel that you cannot get anywhere on your own, or you want some relationship support for this, then finding someone that you resonate with, that's able to redirect your thinking to the present and to the future. Of course, do the healing work, the releasing work, and then do the present and the future. You want someone that's not going to be going over and over and over the past and why you're unhappy. You want someone that's going to listen and then do the change work with you, give you coping strategies, help you to start to change things. So if you have any questions at all about healing from an abortion, or you want to know more about how I can support with grief and loss or this area, then you can go to my website and you can book a 20-minute Zoom call with me. You can also join my Facebook group, Relationship Tips and Advice with Nicola Beer. And in this group, I do lives every week. I did have a few weeks break where I've been giving one of my audio programs as a competition. I think we've got 2 weeks left of that. And then I'll be doing the lives again every week, which I love. I've got some really special guests lined up, which will be really insightful and interesting as well to do. So I am in there every day, pretty much answering your questions and sharing videos and things. So please do join the community. It's great to see it's growing. We've got over 2,000 members now, and I just love seeing people support one another. So you don't have to share, you can just listen and hang around the group and support other people, because we can really learn from our emotions. We can really grow knowing that other people are going through the same thing that we've either been through or are going through. It gives us that sense of feeling that we're not going crazy and that there is other people that care. And it's just really nice. So do feel free to join. Lovely to interact with you in there. And hopefully you'll join the lives and be willing to ask me some questions as I go in there live every week. So from my heart to yours, wishing you a wonderful week ahead and look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Emotions and Eating with Nicola Beer. To book your free eating strategy session with Nicola, get the free eating support audio or donate. If you have enjoyed the show and want to help keep the show flowing, visit www.nicolabeer.com, where you can also find out more about her new system that has helped hundreds of men and women to change their relationship with food and their body, so they experience more peace and love in their life. We wish you an amazing love-filled day ahead.